Good morning. There's something new and exciting on the channel this morning. We're doing a sneak peek of Orbea's latest creation, their 2023 all-new Carbon Gain. So the many faces of joy is the motto that Orbea have adopted for this launch. Here's another. Why am I joyful? Well, it's because Orbea are whisking me off in 2 weeks' time for a 2-day trip around their factory and to go for a ride on the all-new 2023 Gain. Now, you all know I love my Orbea. I've goaded many of you into buying one for yourselves. But something I will note, it's a little ribbing of Orbea. They've got their motto as the many faces of joy. And then have a little look at the faces of the riders that they've got on their infomercial. So I've been sitting on my hands somewhat because Orbea have sent me all of this fantastic information about the new Gain, and I've not been allowed to disclose it until the official launch date, which is today, and the official launch time, which is 4 o'clock Central European time, which I'm hoping is going to be in about 2 minutes, so that I don't actually reveal anything before I'm allowed. I even had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So let's get stuck into the nitty-gritty and find out what's all new about this all-new Gain, which suits me because it means I can go back to my nice warm house. It's 1.5 degrees C out here this morning and I'm freezing my nuts off.
Well, here it is. There's no denying it's an absolutely gorgeous bike. This is the M10i, their flagship model, but there's also a gravel bike which they're going to release at the same time. So let's take a look at the more obvious changes first. And the most obvious change is that frame. It's got very, very skinny and I'd imagine very, very light. Orbea did send an awful lot of information, but I can't actually find the weight of this thing. But I would imagine that it's probably very, very close to 10 kilos. This is particularly impressive because they've packed a bigger battery into that down tube. It's now 353 watt hours, up from 252. The geometry of the new Gain has changed as well. It's now more compact and racier. The bottom bracket has been lowered by about 20 millimeters. The chainstays are shorter. The standover height has been reduced. And the overall wheelbase has been reduced by 26 mils. These are all figures for the medium. All of the Carbon Gains are fitted with Mahler's latest X20 motor, which is smaller and lighter than ever before. But there's some slight controversy over whether it's more or less powerful than the old X35 system. And the reason for that is how they're recording the torque numbers. The X35 was said to have a torque of 40 Newton meters at the hub. Now this one is supposed to have 55 Newton meters, but that is an equivalent value to a mid-motor, and it has 23 Newton meters at the hub. Now that's a decrease of 57% in effective power. I don't really know if that's the truth or not, but I'll certainly be finding out in a couple of weeks when I'm riding one in the Basque Country. You'll notice some improvements in the cockpit area as well. On the tops, there are now buttons on either side, so you can actually change the power settings up and down directly without having to take your hands off the handlebars. And the somewhat unloved iWalk button on the top tube has also improved. It now has a bar gauge to let you know how your battery life is doing, and the colour stays on the assist level that you're in. Orbea have stuck with their nifty integrated front light, which also has a bike computer mounting on top of it. Let's hope they've actually improved it somewhat. I've heard the old one being described as being made of cheese. It broke very easily. The rear wheel is now attached with a standard 12mm through axle, and together with a really nifty motor connector, There's now no need to actually physically unplug and plug in motors. The wheel just drops out like a standard wheel. The other great improvement is a much faster charger. The new Gain will charge up to 80% in just over an hour from flat. The Gain is now equipped with both torque and cadence sensors in place of the old speed sensor. Now this will mean that there is no lag between you starting to pedal and actually the motor coming on. But what's rather more incredible is that apparently these sensors are capable of learning how you ride and to adapt themselves to give you the best possible power output. I find that absolutely incredible. I can't wait to try it out. The group sets on these new Gains range from this Dura Ace Di2 12 speed down to a 105 11 speed on the M30. Interestingly, the aluminium bikes are keeping the X35 Plus system, but the top of that range is now the D30i, which features Shimano's new 105 Di2 electronic shifting 12 speed. Finally, the new carbon Gains come with a fantastic customizable colour range. You can pick and choose any of these for any parts of your bike. They look really amazing.
So there it is, the all new Gain. It looks really, really beautiful. I'm so excited about being given the opportunity to ride it in a couple of weeks. And to ride it in the Basque Country is going to be just astonishing. Of course you're coming with me. We'll find out together just how good or bad the Gain is. But I must confess, I've been really cheeky with Orbea, despite their generosity in providing the invite in the first place. I came up with this idea, and the idea is that they're going to fly me to Bilbao to get there. But on the way back, I've asked them not to fly me back. I've asked them to provide me with a Gain, and I'll bike pack back. It's about 550, 600 kilometers. It's going to be the middle of winter, but it'll make some great video and a pretty good advert for their pride and joy. So fingers crossed they'll agree. I think we should put the pressure on them a bit. If you think I should be loaned a Gain so I can ride home from the factory visit, mention it in the comments below. And until the next one, thanks for watching.